You need to be able to use the command line interface, and you need to be able to use it thoroughly. Because all of our Terraform and infrastructure as code and DevOps, everything will be from command line interface. It is only in cloud that we'll use mouse to click. After cloud, all of our work will be from the command line interface. I mean, 80% of our work. And it is this little command that we are learning now that we'll be using to deploy those commands that we'll be learning. That's how we're learning all this. So we do need to understand, to learn and understand how to use command line interface. But we do not need to create account for that user. The two accounts, EC2 and root accounts, the two accounts, EC2 and root, are enough for us to do everything we want to do. If we now need to create any other user, this is how to create it, the way we just created.
So the user you just created now, well, we already created them. I was going to ask if they will reflect on the cloud.
Yeah, they are in cloud. This is live cloud. Can you see my users?
No, you just created. I was asking if the ones that you created with these, I know you just created these new ones inside of the cloud. I was asking if the ones that we created earlier using the command line, if they were in the cloud.
Okay, now let me explain. Why can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the user we just created now in cloud, they have they have authority over. Can you see my line?
Yeah.
Over everything in cloud. Can you see everything I'm drawing in cloud?
Yeah.
They have authority depending on what we give them. They have authority. But the user we created in Linux earlier on that you are looking, they have authority only over the Linux machine. They are not the same thing. So the user we created on the Linux machine have authority only within our Linux server. But the user we created in cloud has authority not just over the Linux server, but also over all the services in cloud. So why would you restrict yourself? This is the reason cloud does not recognize it. Why would you restrict yourself to 30% power when you can have 100% power? So they would rather you do it. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the users we just created now, if it's about running Linux command, yes, they can do it. But what if we say change our RDS from MySQL to Amazon Aurora, or change our security group from this to something else? No, they don't have that power. Only this user has power to be able to do all that.
And the cloud provider does not have control, because as soon as we launch that machine, we automatically have control over that machine. And the cloud provider does not necessarily control that machine inside what is in that machine or what you create inside that machine, right?
No, inside that machine, they have limited access, but the environment of the machine, they control the power, the environment, and all of it. So they control they control the cloud, but you as the owner, you control what is inside the cloud.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's my question.
Yeah, that's a sharing of responsibility.
Infrastructure as a service.
Yeah. So they provide the infrastructure to you as a service, but what happens inside the infrastructure, the operating system and all of that is your responsibility.
Right.
So let's go back to practical again. So, okay. So we're back to our CLI. Can you see my CLI?
Yes.
All right. So since it's not really so useful working as Cocoa or as any other thing other than EC2 and root, let us go back and restrict ourselves to working as EC2 and root. So let's switch user to EC. Switch user to EC2. No, you did. We don't need password to do this, so I'll just exit. All right. All right. So the next thing I want to show you, but it's not like that knowledge is useless completely, but just keep it somewhere. You just might need it occasionally when you're not working. So the next thing I want to show you is how to create an account. Let's look at the notes. Yeah, we can create group. How to create a new group. Yeah, that is useful. You can create a new group. So let us work as not as root. As much as wherever it is possible, let us not work as root, because it's not all the time that you have the privilege to be a root user. In fact, you are not likely to have the password, to be honest. So instead of working as root and forgetting that in production environment you would not have that password, let us work as EC2. How do we change to EC2? All right. So what we want to do is create a group and add EC2 user to that group. Yes, we will need it. What groups does EC2 user belong to? It belongs to the group EC2 user admin. It belongs to Will. Oh, wow. Beautiful. All right. So let us create another group. To create a group, the command is group add. Now, instead of user add, the command now is group add. What group do you want to create? Let us create a group called trainees or Docker or something. Later on, we'll be creating Docker. Permission denied. Why is permission denied? And what's the correction?
User.
All right. So sudo is the correction. So how do we test that we have created the group trainees? Add group. Okay, add. All right. So we see that trainees have been created as a group. So we have created a group. Fine. So to add EC2 now to the group that we just created, what's the command? The command to add somebody to group is user mod. Remember? I think mod. User modifier. Minus AG. Yeah. Add to trainees. Who do you want to add?
I think we have to put Will, right? Or no Will?
This time it's not Will. This time it's trainee.
Last
time. I don't want to add who? EC2
user.
And EC2 user add himself. It's not like you are EC2 user and you are adding yourself to EC. Okay. So apparently it works. So now what groups does EC2 user belong to? Let's find out. What do we have? So EC2 user, admin, will. No, it's not there. I expect to see trainees. It's not there. So EC2 user cannot add himself. So we need to get out of EC2 user to be able to add EC2. Because I expect to see trainees here. Trainees not listed.
Even with sudo, it can't add itself?
Yes, because this is EC2 user adding himself. Somehow it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
You are EC2 user, you are adding yourself. So who is the only person that can?
Should be root.
Root. How do we change to root? We do SU. All right. We are saying we should repeat. Root does not need sudo, right? So to repeat that command. So just right click. User mode is. So this is it. Awesome. So if we now say groups of EC2, because we are root now. So if we say groups, it will give us groups for root. So groups of EC2 users. Awesome. We are now seeing
Training.
We are now seeing trainees. So correct now. So this is how to make a user a member of a group. I will be using this a lot so the name of the group this time just happens to be trainees. The name of the group could have been Docker, could have been Python, could have been anything else. But whatever the name is, this is how to add user to group. And what does adding user to group mean? It means that this user is now able to operate in the capacity of training. All right. Any question? Confusing?
No.
Okay. All right. So let's move on then. So again, we are done with root. So let's leave root. Switch user to EC2 user. Clear the screen. ls minus la. Let's do some work. This etc is for configuration files. So this is not the best place to work. Let's get out of here so that we can go and work where there are no configuration files and where we are free to do anything. Where is the place where this guy is free to work and have access to us? Right now we're in XC Direct. It's not a safe place to work. One, we don't have access to many things, and two, this is where system files are kept. You don't want to mistakenly delete any of these powerful files. So is there a directory where you feel very comfortable working and you can do everything? Yes, that's your home directory, and you get there by CD, and then it changes to tilde. That's your home directory. So if you say print working directory, you are going to see that you are in EC2 directory now.